Hello and welcome to my December wrap-up. Hello, Happy New Year! I'm Jo and today I'm going to be doing my December wrap-up. Now, December actually turned out to be a really productive month for me, which is crazy because December is usually like my least productive month because I have so many like Christmas things going on and the kids and everything that comes with, Christmas. So it was a bit of a surprise for me this year. Blogging wise, I took part in BlogMas. I thought it would be a fun challenge to do leading up to Christmas. I decided that I would go for the full 31 days of the challenge. So over on my blog, Linsdell.com, I decided to do these 31 posts in 31 days of December for BlogMas. Now, I was doing really well until Christmas week. Okay, now, when I decided to do BlogMas at the very beginning, well, actually, it was like the very end of November that I decided that I was going to do the challenge. And so I did schedule a couple of posts in advance. I've already made a note to myself that should I decide to take part in this challenge again, then if I am going to schedule posts in advance, then it definitely needs to be for Christmas week, because that is the busiest, really. And then, ideally I would program them all in advance, but sometimes that's just not possible. But anyway, I didn't do badly with it. It was a fun experience. It was interesting trying to come up with, not all of my posts were festive ones, okay? I did have, although most of, even like the blog reviews that I did, they were all for festive reads for the most part. I had a couple of non-festive posts for it because they were regular programming kind of thing. But most of the posts that I did had a festive twist on them. So that was kind of fun, trying to come up with ideas for sort of posts and things to do for that. So go over to jolinsdale.com and check them out. I did have ideas for other posts. Like I said, I did plan to do the whole 31 days and I did plan content for them in advance. I just didn't have enough time to actually do the post and get them out for a lot of the time. So the good news is that a couple of the posts which I didn't manage to finish in time, which are festive themed and things, they are partly done, and so I already advanced for next year, which, being a whole year in advance, that's kind of good. So I will slowly add to those and finish them up for next year's BlogMas, should I decide to do the whole 31 days again. I might do the shorter version of it because there is a shorter version of it. But anyway, it was really fun. It was also very interesting to see, though, like traffic-wise, didn't actually really make a difference to the blog traffic going to my blog at all. I was very much average number of hits that I would usually be. So that was kind of interesting as well, because I always post on like a Monday, Wednesday and Friday usually to my blog. And so I was curious to see if posting on other days would have a different impact on traffic and things. Really didn't. Despite that, I think because generally speaking, December is a low traffic month though anyway. So potentially it just helped me maintain my average as opposed to dropping lower for the Christmas. I think it's because people just get busy in the lead up to Christmas and have less time to actually spend reading the blogs. So I don't know, but it was curious to see the difference. I definitely want to take part in the month-long blogging challenges where you do every single day of the blog, but for different months. I think this year I will probably take part in the Blogtober version, so doing October, as that's an easier month to gauge, because it's not, although it is a festive month with Halloween and things coming up, it doesn't have the same kind of impact that the holidays does at Christmas. So I think that would be more indicative of the different days blogging and things. I would like to do one sooner in the year as well, so maybe springtime sometime, and just to see how it changes, because I like experimenting from that point of view as well. Finding out, for example, I'd be very curious to see if posting at the weekend would make a big difference in traffic to the blog or not. So anyway, it's one of those things that I'm still playing around with. But as far as December is concerned, it didn't really make any difference at all. So whether I was posting my standard 3 days a week, or whether I posted every single day for the month, my traffic at the end of the month was still within my average kind of around like the 30k kind of mark there, so which is my sort of baseline medium, if you like. So yeah, make of that what you will. If you did take part in BlogMas, then please reach out down in the comment section below, because I would love to know if it had a big effect on your blog traffic or not as well. Did you find that you had days where you got more traffic than others? Do you think it's worth it blogging for the 31 days as opposed to your usual lesser amount or whatever? I would be interested to see what people come up with for this. So anyway, moving on to my reading challenges. Now, December, obviously last month for the clock reading challenge, I completed my clock for the year. So super happy. You can see my finished clock right here. I'm going to insert a graphic for you. The last book that I read for this challenge was 11. This is by Carolyn Howard. I bought myself a copy of this from Amazon, based purely on the title. I was looking on Amazon for books with 11 in the title, because I didn't have a book for number 11. It was the only one that was left. It's actually one of the most difficult numbers to do for the clock reading challenge, but there are books out there, so fear not if you're doing the challenge in 2023, which I will link up all of the stuff for that, so you can go and check out all my things about the clock reading challenge, as it's my own personal challenge that I created. So you can find graphics and things for those down in the links, which I will link up for you. But anyway, so this one, it fitted in with the whole murder mystery thriller niche, which I tend to favour. And the title was 11, so I was like, okay, I'm going to buy myself a copy of that. And it really was quite a good read. And so that finished up my clock reading challenge for 2022. So really pleased with that. It actually had some really good books as well. There were several 5-star reads within my clock reading challenge this year. The 2-Week Wait, 4 Ways to Wear a Dress, 6 Ways to Write a Love Letter, 8 Perfect Murders. They were all 5-star reviews from me, and I also had some other 4-star reviews in there as well. So overall, it was a huge success, the clock reading challenge for me in 2022. So hopefully 2023 will be just as good, if not better. I would love to I have some really good books lined up, or at least what I think are going to be really good books lined up for my TBR for the clock reading challenge for 2023. So I'm kind of excited about that. I have lots of arcs in there as well. Okay, other things. Now, the NetGalley TBR reading challenge. This is another challenge which I created for myself. It just trying to clear my NetGalley TBR. Now, on the one hand, I did get my review ratio looking nice and healthy again. I think I'm about 84% now on that. It would have been even better apart from the fact that I picked up a load of books, which mainly for the clock reading challenge for this year, I have to say. the ones that I picked up are mainly for the clock reading challenge, which I really wanted to read, and they fitted with this year's challenge, and so I was like, okay, I'm adding those to my TBR. Otherwise, my percentage would have been even better. But overall, quite happy. I did start reading Lucifer's Game by Christina Lodger. This was one on my NetGalley TBR, and it is still on my NetGalley TBR because I started reading it, but I just wasn't in the mood for it. I think because it seemed absolutely fine as a book, so I will be picking it back up again. I just wasn't in the mood for historical World War read at the time. December, so I decided that I would concentrate on festive reads instead, and so decided to work my way through some other books that I had picked up. A lot of them were free on Kindle to download during December, being festive reads and things, and a lot of them were short reads, which was kind of perfect because I didn't think I would have that much time and things, but it was amazing how many short reads I actually managed to fit in whilst doing other stuff. So I read Sleigh Bells Ring by Karen McInerney. I will link up to my review that I've done for that already. I also did Kiss Me Under the Christmas Lights by Cindy Ray Hale. Again, I will link up to my review for that one as well. And one of my new favourite children's books was Santa's Countdown to Christmas by Kim Thompson. This one was awesome. So if you have younger kids and you're looking for a Christmassy read for next year, you have got to get a copy of this book. It's right up there with my favourites, like The Snowman or It Was the Night Before Christmas. This book, seriously, it's one of those you should pull out every year, I think. It was just so well done. So there's that one. That was on my NetGalley. I got that off of NetGalley, I believe. That one, so that counts actually as NetGalley. It's a children's book, so I don't tend to count it in the NetGalley TBR challenge because I was sort of marking off just like full-length novels for that. But this was a NetGalley one. Then I got Rebel Without a Clause by Celia Kinsey. Again, I will link to my review for that. Holiday Hearts by Nora Everly. Again, we'll link to full review for that. They were all very nice short reads, so not very long at all. We're talking sort of like under the 100 pages mark for these, so they were quite good and really hit the spot with the festive reads was what I was looking for, so pleased with those. I also read Better Watch Out by Willow Rose, which I gave 5-star review to. Now, I don't tend to read horror in general. I love me a thriller, but horror tends to be very hit and miss for me. This one was perfect. It was an incredibly good short read. I do have more Willow Rose books downloaded onto my Kindle, so I'm now very tempted to read more of those because I really enjoyed that book. I also decided to pick up some non-fiction, so I got Move the Fat, which is this one here, and also House Cleaning Secrets by Lisa Johnson. And I will link up to my reviews for those as well, so you can check those out. Now, another book that I read, which is, I can actually show you, this is the only one that is actually a paperback copy, The Revenge of the Middle-Aged Woman by Elizabeth Buchan, I think that's pronounced. That one, again, turned out to be a really good read. That's one that I picked up in some book shopping that I did towards the end of the year anyway, and so really enjoyed that. That was a 4-star for me. Again, I will link up to the full review so you can find out exactly what I thought about all of these books in more detail. So I link those up. But basically, Sleigh Bells Ring was a 3-star. Revenge of the Middle-Aged Woman was a 4-star. Kiss Me Under the Christmas Lights was a 3-star. Rebel Without a Clause was a 3-star. Holiday Hearts was a 3-star. Move the Fact was a 3-star. And House Cleaning Secrets was a 3-star. 11 was a 4-star. And Better Watch Out was a 5-star. Okay, so I was actually rather impressed with myself for how much reading I actually managed to get done in December. And I also managed to finish my Christmas shopping in advance this year as well. So I was like really organised, really proud of myself. But anyway, yes, so that is my December update. I would be curious to know, are you like me? Does like December usually turn into a kind of slow month for you? Both reading wise, but also for your book blog, if you have one. Do you kind of find it hard to fit in the time to do all of the updates and things that you want to do? Or is it one of your more productive months? Maybe it's a surprise productive month like I had. Because like I said, I don't think I've ever had a December that's been this productive before. And I'm not even sure why it turned out to be this productive. But it was, and I'm happy. So really looking forward to what 2023 is going to bring. I have a lot of good books on my TBR list for this year, and no doubt we'll be adding even more as the year goes on. I have also done some book shopping and got some books as presents over the Christmas period, so I will be doing a separate book haul for those to tell you all about them, but there's quite a few. So looking forward to jumping into those as well. And that is it for today. So thank you for joining me for this update, and I look forward to hearing how you guys got on as well. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.